Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Now we're diving right into this one once again. It's been another interesting weekend, so it hasn't finished yet for me. We do have the second account to do. This is the first account, well this is the alt account. So we'll see it's gonna be the qualifiers. I think we only do 3 and I give the other 2 games away. I kind of forget that, wow, the qualifier rewards aren't worth it, so we gave a couple away. But then we'll do the first, I think it's 7 of the finals. And already, actually, before I qualify everything else, I want to talk about the very next upcoming clip here, because I feel like people are playing this game different than they used to. I don't know why, but it's worse now than ever to give away a 1-goal lead, because this is genuinely, like, the second game of qualifiers, and look at this guy here. He's going to go back, and I know there's a press on, and I know they don't have a lot of options, but also they have more options than just going back towards their own box. And then the bounces. We'll have to talk about those plenty once again. Yeah, I feel like people are just playing differently now than they used to. I don't know what it is. I know EA, again, did something with the matchmaking recently, but like, I've faced the most difficult opponents I could. Oh, the bounces. It's too off of Hazard that the game could. Yeah, I've played game after game after game of Elite Division this year. I've gotten 15 of those. I've played the hardest games the matchmaking knows how to throw at me. So with the recent change, that shouldn't be me coming up against people who like to pass around the back more. Let me know if you've noticed that as well. I feel like people are just more competitive now than they were during Team of the Year, which is very strange because Team of the Year and Team of the Season are always the hardest foot champs times. But no, I feel like people are sweating now more than ever. For what? For what rewards? But obviously, I'm still playing the game competitively too and trying as hard as I can, and it's still a struggle. So we've had quite a few weekends in a row now where I've just had no success. And it's really frustrating to me because, like, after this session, I went on and did I went on and I did Elite Rivals, Elite Division, and I went 6 wins, 1 draw, and 0 losses. And like, this was Friday, so the games you're seeing are Friday, and I went through and played Saturday, and, you know, didn't have a perfect record there either in Champs. Went over to the other account, played Rivals, and went 5-0 in Rivals. 5 wins, no draws, no losses, including 2 of them in a formation I have not used at all this year. Well, a tactic. Did a 4-3-3-4, and I had Winger on both the wide players, which I've never used Winger this year at all on left wing, right wing. And I still beat Elite Division like 4-0 and was making people quit. I have no problem in Elite Division. I swear to you now, though, it just feels like Foot Champs is a different game mode. Almost like a different gameplay style, or it's not necessarily less responsive, but the AI feels different, and something's just a little bit weird with it. Maybe the goalkeepers feel different. I don't know. It's very strange to me right now. It's very unfortunate because, again, I'm flying in Div Rivals like it's nothing, which should be the more difficult games. Rivals should be consistently more difficult than Champs. A couple games you play a weekend of Champs should be. Yeah, this guy's a little upset. That one's a bit funny. I don't think I've ever been tackled by a goalkeeper 40 yards outside the box before, but yeah, I feel like a couple games of Champs per weekend you should play Elite Division players, right? But, you know, you should get, I don't know, half your games are Div 1 and lower opponents or whatever, you know, so, like, it shouldn't be what it is right now. But that said, I'm really struggling to just find my success in this game, and barring, like, having the success for the results, I want to find my just dribbles on the pitch. Even if I lose, I just want some pretty goals, right? And I'm still not able to get those either. And I'm really struggling right now because the main thing for me right now is interceptions are just a mess. Manually controlled interceptions are the worst they have ever been in any FIFA. If you're controlling your defender, you will not intercept the ball. Like, point blank, that end of conversation. But if you're letting the AI do it, like, the AI is going to get it all the time. And I don't know how to defend with the AI. I've never done that in any FIFA. You can call that a skill issue, but, like, I've been manual every single year. Another problem we're having are the bounces. And take a look at this one here. I lose this game. And I lose to that goal. That is why I lose. This is, I need to say, this is a defender with, I believe, 98 stand tackle and anticipate plus and 98 reactions and 97 composure. You almost cannot possibly get better than this. What is happening? EA said they fixed this, right? The whole tackle back idea of like, oh, tackles are supposed to go to your own player now if you don't get like possession with the same tackler. So this should be sending it to VVD or Conte or something, or he should just get possession. It's also supposed to do more of an animation to make the opponents fall over more, but no. Like, what is going on here? So I lost my head here, and we're going to talk about that later, but I definitely lost it as I was playing this, because I'm just going, like, what on earth, man? What is this? This is nonsense. It's absolutely, there's nothing else to it. One of the worst goals I've conceded. I don't know what you want from the game. And, you know, unfortunately, we go ahead and concede the next one, and it's just, I end up losing by 1 goal. So without that one going in, you know, all else being equal, the game ends up going to extra time, and who knows what happens from there, right? But it's just that kind of stuff. And I don't really know what to do about it. Like, I feel like I'm using the right player there. I've got Anticipate Plus, I've got the stats, got everything you could want. It's just that kind of stuff that's really not going my way as it is. It's really unfortunate, because you can see immediately in the next game, oh, the opponent's not using those tactics that just completely ruin the game. I have so much space here. I've got so much ability to do so many things on the ball. The attacks in this game are going to be so easy. But nope, those other matches, such a struggle, as it were, unfortunately. It's such a shame, because, yeah, something I want to talk about is just, like, I shouldn't necessarily put it this way, but we'll mention it for transparency. My viewer count's fallen off a little bit, and I think that's because of my attitude in some of the recent streams, and that's totally fair. I do not blame anybody for that. That is nothing but my fault. This game has been getting to me horrendously. Complaining a lot of my streams are just kind of, like, oh, this was a failed interception, no, this was a failed one, and oh, I should have gotten that, and no, that tackle fell back, and it's like just kind of the complaint after complaint after complaint, and like, you'll see, and this is one of my better dribble goals. We'll actually watch this one back just to appreciate it a little more. Don't be surprised if you see this as a YouTube short here shortly, too. But again, in games like this, there's no problem, but the majority of Champs games are just going to be really difficult, like, high-press, offside trap opponents where you don't get space to do this kind of thing. When I get my space, I'm fine. I can have fun in this game. It's not the whole complaining session, but the fact that pretty much everybody uses the same formation, the same tactics now, it just allows the AI to kind of pretty much ruin everything for you. And you can see in a match like this, I'm getting a goal with my left back here because I've got space to run into. But the next match we play of somebody who just has that back 6 where they sit in the box, but also is super high depth for some reason. Also, I don't know how VVD doesn't get that one, and also goalie movement, whatever. Yeah, whatever celebration here too. Yeah, anyway, just like really struggling with space on the pitch. I'm not getting my AI to move at all. I know a couple of you have mentioned that in the comments here too. I really feel like the AI is not what it used to be. Not quite sure why. It's just been such a struggle lately. So I want to make as sincere an effort as I can to go like, hey, I want to change the attitude. I want to provide the streams to be a little bit more entertaining and not quite as whiny and complainy. But also I can't fix the game. It's been really hard. So we're going to try. I appreciate all of you that are still sticking around for these videos, for the live streams, for all of it. And yeah, just really, again, appreciate all of you. For everybody who stepped away, I'm going to, again, do my best to improve. I totally understand. Unfortunately, the performances, I can't find any way to improve at all, but I'm going to try to let that get to me less. Just focus on the dribbling, try to get some highlights in every game, and if I don't get the results, it doesn't matter. The highlights are more important. Having a nice little play style is more important than getting the actual, like, you know, the 15 of those. I'd rather get a couple montage goals, or try to get a couple per game, rather than, you know, just go for 15 and 0 after 15 and 0. So we're going to try to adjust that a little bit, just for transparency's sake. I feel like it's worth putting all of that out there. Also, I didn't know you could have football lines in a Foot Champs game. I've never seen this before, and I played this game for years. I thought you couldn't customize the stadiums in Champs, so this was very confusing to me. This actually genuinely hurt my eyes, which is a shame. And I also kind of mean stuff like that. Like, again, people are being way more possessive with their center backs, even at a 0-0. It works for me here, but again, people just playing a little bit differently than I feel like they used to. But anyway, the other thing I really wanted to cover here is just kind of I'm really bored with playing the 4-2-1-3. And Alex from the podcast, and check out our podcast, by the way, that is at The Foot Show on Spotify and iTunes, and all the links are in the description there. But Alex, one of the co-hosts, has kind of said lately that he would rather play a 4-2-1-3 than any other formation, which makes sense. You know, when you're and like it's correct. Any game with a meta like that, if you know, if your opponent's using the meta, then you've played that time and time and time again. You know exactly what to expect. You know all the ins and outs of it, right? But if you're using unique formation, then your opponents, who knows how many times they played that? Only a couple, right? Nice little move there from Eden, by the way. Definitely going to have to integrate some of these tricks or flicks in my game a little more. Yeah, if you've played, like, if your opponent is playing you and they've never seen that formation being used before, then they're at a disadvantage because they don't really know how it works, right? Don't know how Stones doesn't get a little weird here anyway. Yeah, it's like I'm with him. I understand. It's not that playing the 4-2-1-3 is hard, though. It's that it's really boring and really repetitive. I'm so bored at this point of the fact that the only goals you can score against that 4-2-1-3 are short corners, because I'm really, really good at short corners right now. And then through balls from this kind of zone, right? Before they've actually committed all the way to defense, it's exactly this kind of attack. You just get your one ball through from your own half into the other half. So exactly that kind of goal, or give and goes, which are, say I get it with Dino and just do the L1 ground pat and this, give and go. Exactly. Perfect example. So it's either like a through ball from your own half, a through ball once you're fully on offense in the final third, and just kind of doing that give and go. You got short corners, and you've got getting down the wing. So instead of a through ball down the middle to like your striker, you do a through ball down the wing to your overlapping fullback or to your wide player. And that's it. Those are the only goals that exist in this game when you're playing specific formations. So I can do this all day. I can get the ball out here with Hazard every day, like all match, even if I wanted, when I'm playing this 4-2-1-3s. If I wanted. I'm just so bored of the repetitiveness. Because there's no dribbling. You don't have space with your cam in the center of the pitch. This one. I don't know. Again, this was another loss. Chip shot, whatever. I don't really... It's fine. But what is this? Somebody point out the foul to me here. I'm completely at a loss. Like, yeah, he gets the ball and the man... and perhaps the man first, but physicality is allowed. There should be no foul, and then I'm at the disadvantage. Like, I feel like I defend that fine without any foul that should have been committed. And also, again, interceptions are so weird. This is right by his foot. That's really unfortunate if you ask me. But what if again, it's just this kind of stuff. I'm really at a loss right now. It's a good, clever little play from the opponent, although that layoff pass is too effective, if you ask me. Anyway, it's just... game is so weird right now. But yeah, the problem is, so when I'm like, I want to keep my head up and I just want to go for these, like, pretty little dribbles, these montage goals, right? I can't, because the only goal... Okay, I forgot to mention kickoffs, because kickoffs are, like, 20% of my goals right now. It's the same kickoff down the wing every time, again. Yeah, so we've got, like, through ball from your own half, give and go in the final third, kickoffs, spamming down the wing, and short corners. There's 5 ways to score. None of that is AI related. They're all manually queued runs. Like, every single one of them is me calling somebody short or me sending somebody on a run. So there's no unique, like, short passing, no tiki-taka play, nothing unique in the box. Don't know how this is a miss. But, like, no unique AI movement you can get with some clever short passing. They just don't run off of you. They don't, like, do any kind of free roam movement. They're all very set in their ways. This one, by the way, we've got to talk about this one, because I have no idea. This is... So, first of all, my VVD made a foul in a very similar situation, like, kind of from the back of the player. That didn't look like a foul, just 20 minutes earlier in this match. And I know this is the anticipate VVD, whereas I've got the team of the year. So I know there is that difference for what it's worth. But what am I looking at here? Again, another moment I lost my head because, like, VVD's momentum is entirely in the other direction. genuinely entirely in the other. I have no idea how he gets that. Obviously, if I complete this dribble, I'm in. It's an easy little pass down to my other attacker here. He's not gonna switch to Camavinga here and guard Cole Palmer in the end. It's gonna be a guaranteed goal. I don't know. It's this kind of stuff. It feels so inconsistent to me. Yeah, when you're playing this kinds of formation, there's no pretty dribbling to have. There's no space with my CDMs. There's no space with my fullbacks. There's only space like out wide making runs or trying to make that immediate counterattack. You know, again, like you see this match, all of a sudden some nice dribbles. And all of a sudden Cole Palmer is cutting all the way inside. But we have that problem where, okay, my drawing tool doesn't want to pop up. One moment. Okay, there we go. That was weird. But like this opponent was just, and we'll have to go back just a second, I think. But this opponent is just open enough. And the difference is just their back line is here and the midfield line is here. As opposed to here, right? If their midfield line is here, Palmer does not make this run. But whatever they're doing, I don't know if this is a formation thing. It looks like they're in the 4-2-1-3, obviously, you know. I don't know if it's a tactic thing. Maybe these two aren't on holding, and most people use them on holding or whatever it is. Maybe they're on just 50 depth, but it doesn't look like it. They're pretty high up. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But whatever it is, the defensive line is a little bit open there. Look at the attacking AI. Cole Palmer does not get in this position whatsoever if the CDMs are just here instead of here. That's it. End of conversation. He just doesn't. And that's so annoying to me because, like, this is what I want from the game, right? I want these unique situations. I'm really good when the game's... It's not a chaos state, but you're getting players against, like, one-on-one against players that they're not usually up against, you know? When you're getting a wide player inside, you're getting an inside player out wide, getting a deeper player running forward, something like that, and all of a sudden the game state's a little bit different, and the center back's going, wait, I've got more players. I've got two players to guard now instead of one, and they've got to make that decision, and they commit, and you make them commit the wrong way. Boom, goal every time. Like that's what I'm good at, right? But in like the other clips you're seeing, the game we just did. So you saw me score a couple kickoffs, and every other goal, Cole Palmer was not here. He was here, and so we're just making these runs like, oh, it's got to be this little give and go. He'll pass it over here, and then we'll do the through ball here. And he's always attacking through this lane. All of a sudden, he's here, right? Brilliant. That's what I want from the attacking AI. It does not exist if your opponent is using certain formations to defend with, or certain tactics. But all of a sudden, like, that's what I'm good at. That's where my goals come from. You just can't have it this year. And again, like, in a game like this that's really open, I'll get a couple goals here. Might be a unique skill run from Maradona. That's actually, like, there's some really, really nice stuff in here, right? That's a pretty goal. That's a really pretty goal. Because I've got space. If EA just makes everybody play certain for me, that's too far back. But if EA just took away certain tactics or made everybody play certain, like, took away certain formations, whatever it is, all of a sudden, just miles and miles of space here. And obviously, not the best defender. He could have made this tackle. He didn't have to bring his center back that far out wide. You know, there's stuff here, right? But it's just, I don't know, man. The CDMs are here, and they're not tracking everything well. So all of a sudden, my players are cutting inside more than they usually are. I don't know what it is. This game is just different. This game is just vastly different. But a couple skill moves from Maradona, and we've got some nice passes there from my inside forwards getting where they're supposed to. In a way that they just never will in the games that I lose. And again, you can call that a skill issue. But I miss this uniqueness. I want some of my games to have these, like, different types of goals. Because those are, yeah, I was mentioning there are, like, 5 types of goals. A couple through balls, short corners, kickoffs. That's it. These are different types of goals. All of a sudden, there are a couple different skill moves I can throw in. There's a couple different passes I can throw in. There's variety here. It's not just the same cookie cutter thing over and over and over again. And these are frustrating to me. I feel like I'm conceding some counterattacks I didn't really deserve to. I felt like I defended them pretty well. But hey. It is what it is, and I know in games like this, I can go up the other end of the pitch and create something unique, create something that's from my own skill, you know. That is the end of the clips here, so unfortunately this weekend we started 5-2 from the first 7, which I think is the first time I've ever done that, barring hackers. I think I've had 2 hacked losses and maybe 1 loss and 1 hacked loss and like that kind of record this year, but I definitely like in no FIFA. And I've played, weekend league since 17. I've never lost 2 of the first 7. And both of them really, like, again, you can say it's just 1 goal and there are other factors in the game that could have changed, but, both of them were just to at least 1 goal. It's absolutely nonsense off of a tackle I deserve to have. And let me know in the comments how it's been going for you, because I know a lot of people have been feeling the same. I don't know what it is, because we're all so ecstatic after the patch, and if you go back and watch my streams from post-patch, I wasn't happy immediately, because I'm like, oh, this feels a little bit weird, because they adjusted the dribbling some, and of course that impacts me pretty heavily, but, like a day or 2 after, once you get used to it, we were flying. Things were, I've never seen the community that, excited, that at hope. We're all having a great time in the game, pretty much all of us, at least. Now it seems like the community is worse than ever. I feel like everybody's more negative now, myself included, than we were before the patch. I just don't know what's going on. And I don't know what to do about it either. EA, take away the 4-2-1-3, just remove it. They never would. I mean, half the player base would probably leave, right? Well, adjust the AI with it, but then everybody's going to complain that, you took away their formation. How are they supposed to play now? Well, I don't know. I don't know what they do. I don't know what they do here. It doesn't feel like a responsive issue. Yeah, the gameplay is very different game to game. It's really dependent on your connection. But it's more the bounces and the interceptions and just the weird attacking AI and even the ability of your tackles regaining possession, just sticking with you, or your player sticking out a foot to make an interception. I may make a video on this in the future, but one of the changes, as a changes I would make if I were head of EA for this game, right? But I wish there was an intercept button. Because I don't think the AI should be able to intercept things for you whatsoever. I don't think it ever should. I think every single interception should have to be manual. That's my own personal opinion there. But also, there should be an intercept button. You should just have to press a button. Maybe you press, R1 circle to make a right-footed interception, and L1 circle to make a left-footed, and just base circle to make it if it's, directly at you. And, if it's really far away, maybe you stab at it and just kind of poke it away. And if it's close enough, you can try to, take a first touch with it, right? But at least if there's an intercept button, then there's some skill to predicting what the play is going to be. You're like, oh, I'm already thinking this is going to be a through ball. I've got that in my head, and then I can react to it pretty easily. Or if you've just got really good reactions, you can pull that out anyway. These are ideas for a future video, but for me, it's just right now. Okay, so I'm talking about there are only 5 types of goals I score, right? Against these formations. There are only 2 I concede. It's only through balls and give and goes. I don't even concede the stuff down the wing, really, because I'm pretty good at preventing that once they get to the side of the box there, of just containing them. I don't really concede short corners. Most people aren't as effective at them as I am. What was the other method? Kickoffs. I concede a kickoff here or there, but I don't concede nearly as many as I score, right? It is just the give and goes at the top of the box, which again, I know what's happening. I read it every single time. You can see the cursor above my head as I'm switching over there, right? It should be defending them. It just, again, the player doesn't stick their leg out. Because I'm manually controlling them, maybe. Maybe it's better if I let the AI do it, but I feel really uncomfy doing that. Because then if the AI doesn't do it, I definitely feel like it's my fault. I could have done something. But when I'm manually controlling them, it's like, what else was I supposed to do? And then it's just the long ball counterattacks, which happen. I mean, I've been using wingback this weekend. You can see maybe in a couple of the clips with the radar down below, where the wingbacks get a little bit further forward for me. They're sitting here, as opposed to along with the defensive line before. They're just a little bit further up the pitch. That's all. It's 5-10 yards ish. So yeah, I'm okay with conceding an extra counterattack here or there because I'm getting them further forward. That's not the problem. But anyway, I think I've waffled on long enough. I do really appreciate all of you still sticking around. Let me know if you've got any ideas to improve the content or how you've been finding my attitude lately, because I'm really hoping to make the streams a little bit more exciting here shortly. But yeah, if you did enjoy, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, everybody. Peace.